Here we go for a Shaun short episode on the Always Another Game podcast, where we go inside my mind, the performance coach who specializes in behavior change, to share a story about my playing days and something that I may have overcome or found interesting that transfers into life today. And I want to talk to you about a very memorable game of mine in the latter part of my career. And when I've looked at it now and analyzed it, it's really interesting for many reasons. And when we talk about life, we talk about that the odds are against you, that the cards are stacked against you, because every day can be different, can be unique. We have no idea really what is coming and could come. And we've seen that with lockdown, and we've seen that with the financial crisis and the energy crisis and all this stuff, and constantly we're against all odds here to thrive. There's a large amount of people lower down that are less likely to thrive than the millionaires and the billionaires. And even then, when you're at that level, you've seen many people crumble. And there's a huge difference between how we handle these difficult scenarios. And what I've noticed more so recently is the people who are internally confident, internally driven, versus the people that are externally driven or external confidence makes such a big impact when times get tough. And what I mean by that, if I use external as an example, is that you're externally motivated. You require people to motivate you, to tell you that you're doing well and I'm proud of you. And you really do rely on other people driving you forward. But also those same people get affected by external issues as well. So, when things don't go right, we let that type of pressure and stress take over us, and we don't handle those scenarios very well because of what's going on in the news or something else that's happening within our lives that are outside of our internal circle. And this memorable game of mine, again, latter part of the playing career, and the game was close. It was drawn at the time, and one of our players in ice hockey took a major penalty, which is a 5-minute penalty, and he took it right at the end of the game, which meant that when we went into overtime, which in ice hockey happens in regular games, it's a 5-minute period of 4-on-4 ice hockey at the time. Or was it 3? I think it's 3 now. But because we'd taken a penalty, I think that's what happened, is they had 4 players on the ice and we had 3. We were a man down. They were in charge. Now, I had been playing a good period of time. In ice hockey, 45 seconds is probably about enough per shift. In this game, I actually played that whole 5 minutes. We'd had a bigger break due to this incident and this major penalty. But there was something inside me that game that I knew I was ready to play. I was fit enough. I was going to be able to do this. And partway through the overtime period, I said to my teammates, I looked over and said, if I get a chance, I'm going for it. The cards were against us. We were in their rink. They had an extra player for 5 minutes. They should have been scoring a goal. And I said, if I get a sniff, I'm just going to go for it. And I did. I got a sniff. And I took the puck nearly right by their goal, and they took me down, and they pulled my stick so I couldn't get a shot off. So we then had a penalty shot. Everyone was ecstatic, right? Penalty shot, you expected to score. Nope, goalie saved it. I missed. I had an opportunity to win it for my team then and there in overtime because it was golden goal. I couldn't do it. The game finished, which then means it goes to penalties. In regular season game, 5 minutes over overtime, if no winner, it goes to penalties. Straight away, I said to my coach, I said, I'm taking one. There was just something different about this game that I knew that I was going to have an impact, and I wasn't going to let a mistake or error or fatigue throw me off. And I took a penalty shot and I scored. Rounds went rounds, and I had the final penalty shot and I scored again. Now, this isn't a, hey, let's brag podcast episode. It might seem like it, but I was internally driven at that phase in my phase of my hockey career. That season, I was internally driven to be the best, and I remember it really well. And I wasn't letting external factors affect me. Whereas after that season, I had a couple of years where I did let external factors affect me. I was externally motivated because I struggled to gain that motivation from the scenarios that I was in. And it was a difficult period of time. But this game stood out, and it reminds me of what is possible, that if I truly believe in in that I can only control what I can control. And I truly believe in the ability that I have, that every night I went on the ice, every day I wake up, I have an opportunity to perform, to be at my best, to excel. And you can do that exact same thing too, because as I just said there, it did, when I played hockey, it did come and go. I had fantastic seasons, and then I had seasons I'd much rather forget. Yet all of those lessons have built up to this point now, where I'm a firm believer for myself, for you, for your loved ones, that everything you want is possible, because it's a matter of when you get it, not if. And we often get caught up in short periods of time. Whereas if you really focus and believe that you could take that penalty shot, that you can, against all odds, with a man down, that you can go on a break and prove that you are capable of doing what you're doing, or changing jobs, or getting fitter for your family, being able to move more. If you truly believe, then it's possible. A lot of people have forgotten how to believe, whether that's age, society, time. They've forgotten what is actually possible. And I've seen it all in my job as from personal training to performance coach now. I've seen clients of all ages and all abilities excel, because they made a choice in that moment that they were going to put themselves first. They were going to believe in what was possible, and the rest is history. So what I wanted to kind of get from you, from this episode today for you, is have a quick think. And are you internally motivated? Are you driven every day to wake up, know exactly why you're doing this, whether you're going to work or running your business or whatever it is you're doing? Do you truly believe in what you're doing and love what you're doing? And nothing's going to break you. You know that you're going to have tough times, but you know that you'll keep going through because you love what you're doing so much. Or are you internally driven, internally motivated, externally, where your confidence gets shattered very quickly? You know, you make one miss in sport and it throws you off for the rest of the game. I love the saying, did you have a bad day, or did you have a bad 5 minutes that ruined your day? Most people, it's the 5 minutes, okay? It's the missed shot. It's the, you've made a spelling mistake on your email. You forgot to message that person that you said you would message. Yes, it's not ideal, but it shouldn't break you. You should always be solution-based there. How can I either improve this scenario, or how can I improve it for the future? Because the cards are stacked against you in life. Life isn't designed for all of us to be millionaires and live in footloose and fancy free. It's designed for us to blend, to fit in, to graft, it's designed to be difficult. And that's what it is. And the more internally driven we are, the tougher and more resilient we are, the more success we can have. So have a little think about that today. If you've taken anything away from it, please let me know. You can send me a message. You can leave me a review. I'd love to hear it. If there's somebody that you need to send this to that needs to hear it, because they're externally driven and they need to find that deeper belief, which you can find. It's not something that always just pops into you. You can create that belief. I do it every week within my coaching program. It is possible. Maybe they need to hear this. So thank you very much for anybody that has joined me on the Shaun Short today. And I look forward to seeing you on the next episode. And remember, there is always another game. Take care.